To be honest with you, it is not possible to drop ego. You can intellectually, artificially say whatever you like, but does not mean you cannot channelize it. You can channelize ego. There are two things I always say you cannot drop. They are innate. Absolutely innate in everybody. If you have a certain emotion, I'll get to what those two things are. If you have a certain emotion and you try to suppress it, it'll get to your head. Anything you repress will burst one day like a volcano. So when everything is going according to you, there is no anger. Then you don't even see your ego. The other person doesn't even see your ego. Ego comes into picture when something goes against you and you say, why did this happen? This is how I want this thing to happen. Ego is self-affirmation in its bad form. There is difference between stubbornness and ego. Stubbornness is I am right. Ego is only I am right. That is really the primary difference. You need certain firmness to move in this world, to excel in your professional career in society. Otherwise, people will push you over. People will walk over you and won't even realize. Not intentionally, maybe. It's just easy. There is slush on the road, drive. There's too much snow, you have to shovel. If it's not enough snow, let's drive on it. If it's ice, watch out. But when you accept anything that you have in you, if you don't want it, it automatically takes a backseat. If you repress, it's going to keep curving. If you've got a headache and you keep telling, I don't have headache. You know, when somebody is angry and you tell them you're angry, they'll shout even louder, no, I'm not angry with you right now. Because when you're repressing, the internal noise is so much that you can't hear yourself. If really you want to get to a point where your ego is never in the way of your actions, then you surrender it. Then you say, I'm going to listen to the other person. Either you do things your way, or you do things the other person's way, or you do things based on some common ground. If common ground cannot be worked on, then either you have to do things their way or your way. If they accept your way, there is no ego in play, really, because nobody will experience it. Nobody is thinking about the cold outside because we're sitting in a warm environment internally. Nobody will think about your ego if they accept you completely, and vice versa is also true. If you accept them completely, your ego will not come into picture. So the first question is, you need to know where your ego is actually an obstacle. It may not be an obstacle. Do you know what I mean? Ego is your attitude towards circumstances, towards people, towards things. It's a question of attitude. You can transform your attitude. That's up to you. But doesn't mean you cannot be firm. If your child is asking for chocolate and you say, you know, I'm not going to give you candy, doesn't mean you are being egotist at that point. From your viewpoint, you've decided what is best for the child, I'm not going to give it to him. But if you know that, okay, I can, be a bit relaxed and give him a candy, then you should. And how do you know your ego is coming into picture? You will always, there is one sign, remember this. You will always feel either agitated or insecure afterwards. Because if you're just being firm, you will not feel agitated. But if you are angry or if you are acting out of ego, you will either feel very insecure, very agitated, very restless. That's the sign.